Hey gang, Scott Davenport here. Today's video is about a new filter from Haida. It's an addition to their M10 lineup. This is an ND5.0, so 17 stops of light reduction. This is a monster of a long exposure filter. It's the kind of filter that is made for people that love long exposures and you want to do them in relatively bright conditions or even in broad daylight, which is what I did. I took this out during morning hours out at the coastline in San Diego to do some long exposures on the ocean, where water just becomes completely smooth. If you like that kind of look, this is a good filter to take a look at. It can also be used to make busy areas look vacant. As long as there is movement through the scene, you can have busy intersections become void of people because the exposures get very, very long. So we'll talk about what this filter is, how it performed. I'll show you a few photos I've captured with it, and just give you the rundown of what this is. Now, if you're not familiar with the M10 Holder System, I've got a different review, goes into all the details about it. It won me over. I switched to this filter system, very happy with it. And the 5.0 is a drop-in filter. So here's the setup right here. This here is my holder, it's my ring, and this is the filter itself. So it just slides in the back. These are these drop-in filters, and that is the 5.0. You can see how dark that glass is, and it performs really well. Now, when I took it out, some things that I noticed when I was using it. Obviously, you're not going to be focusing through this dark piece of glass. Your camera more or less can't see anything. I did find myself shooting at ISO 200 or 400. Now, I'm a landscape shooter, so I'm normally as low as I can possibly get, and on my Sony camera, that's an ISO 100. But I was boosting the gain, basically, with increasing the ISO to keep the exposures in the 6 to 8 minute range very quickly with a filter as thick, as dark as the ND 5.0. You're getting into 20, 40, 80-minute exposures if you wanted to really ratchet down your aperture to a very small pinpoint like an f/16. Plus this filter, you're going to be sitting around for a long time. That was part of the thing is when you're taking these long exposures, waiting is just part of it. But the results of the shots I captured, I'll show you some before and after as I'm talking here, where it really did just change the mood of the scene. It made it more calm, more serene. Something I like about long exposure photography is it'll change your approach to a scene a little bit. You'll frame things a little differently, make sure you've got something interesting that's anchoring the scene. But the thing I was really impressed with is the color cast is minimal. For this dark amount of glass, color cast is minimal. I took some shots of just a good old-fashioned color chart here. On the left-hand side, this is no filter at all, so you can see my settings. F4, clocked it at 2/50th a second. I'm doing ISO 200, and here is color corrected for pure white. On the right-hand side, this is with the ND5 in place. So same F4, same ISO 200, same lighting conditions. We're talking a 500 plus exposure, so that's a little shy of 10 minutes, and it's only slightly warmer. So the color correction that was done here, that same temperature value was applied over here, and you can see it's just a little bit warmer. I've noticed in the neighborhood of about maybe 400 Kelvin, at least in Lightroom, on that scale. So well within manageability. You would choose something you would expect to be white or neutral gray with, like your eyedropper, just like you do in any tool, and you'll be happy with the results. So all in all, who is this filter for? Like I said, people that love long exposures. You want more opportunity to do them in broad daylight. You want that really, really long exposure time of multiple minutes for whatever it might be. Clouds moving through the sky. Like I mentioned, making things disappear from busy intersections, whatever it may be, all our long exposure fun stuff. The cost of it runs in the neighborhood of $100 to $115, depending on what I've seen so far. So it's reasonable price. Build quality is good. It's same as the other filters that I own and use from Haida, so no problems there. If you're looking to get a super long exposure experience, get a really dark piece of glass, you've got the Haida system. I think you'll be pretty happy with the 5.0. Got questions? Drop them below. And until next time, my name's Scott Davenport. Have fun.